Well, this looks familiar-ish. It seems like only yesterday Audi trotted out its shiny new RS4 to the world, all young and full of promise. Now, it's a thing of the past, because there's a new one.
Well, I say new, it's more of a glow-up. The first thing you notice is the outside. So it's got a new grille, it's even shoutier and more aggressive, and it's got new headlights that have got little slats in them. A bit like footballers back in the noughties that used to take bits out of their eyebrows. Kind of cool. It's also still got those big blistered quattro arches that makes it a whole heap wider than the standard A4. It's a bit of a mini RS6, and that's no bad thing.
And inside it's all about screens. There's a new 10.1-inch touchscreen with acoustic response technology, which means it works as a touchscreen, and it gets rid of the old wheel controller. You also get a new digital instrument cluster that'll show you exciting things like G-forces, lap times, power output, and other stuff that no one you want to actively spend time with would really talk about.
At least that's what Audi Sport wants you to care about, somewhere to log your times and things like that. Though don't go sharing them too far and wide, eh? Might get in trouble. But how are you going to create these amazing numbers and figures to boast to your mates about? Well, under the hood is a turbocharged 2.9-litre V6 with 444 horsepower and 443 pound-foot. That's enough to get you from 0 to 62 in 4.1 seconds and up to a limited 155 miles an hour. Unless you want to go faster, then you can up it to 174 miles an hour. But to do that, you need to give Audi some more money.
Power and torque may not have changed, but efficiency has. It's 17% better than before, boasting nearly 30 mpg on the new stringent WLTP cycle. It's fast, it sips fuel, and its rear-biased all-wheel drive system can send 85% of its power rearward or 70% forward, keeping you safe in inclement conditions. But the old car had that, so why has Audi updated this after 2-ish years? I have a theory.
You see, there have been rumours going around for ages that the RS6 and RS7 are going to get more powerful, smarter, faster brethren. And I think the same will apply to the RS4. In fact, I think the RS4 is going to be the first to get that treatment, hence the hurried refresh. If not, Audi's missing a trick.
See, the RS4 is the RS car. Yeah, there's TTs and Q8s and stuff like that, but the RS4 was the first Audi in-house RS. The RS2 was a brilliant collaboration with Porsche, sure, but that V6 twin-turbo was the best. And while the expanded RS universe gives more people more ways to get an RS on their drive, the star car really should be this.
It's the closest to the original, it's the aspirational one. Without an RS4, we wouldn't have an RS6, an RS7. Fuss needs to be made about this thing. Okay, it hasn't drastically changed from the old RS4, but the good bits are still here. You still get thumping power, there's still space to put loads of stuff in the back of it. It still looks great, and it still drives great. Yeah, it's not as sharp as an M3 or as sideways as an AMG, but as a day-to-day motor, this thing's awesome. So what about the basics? A gearbox, slick and smooth. You feel involved, or at least as involved as you can, with an automatic. But we must remember, the reason this is an automatic is because the machines are faster and cleverer than the humans. You wouldn't be able to get from 0 to 62 in 4.1 shifting on your own, probably, whereas this will do it every single time. The brakes are pretty good, pretty strong. I've had to apply them with vigour a few times because we are in lovely Morocco and the drivers can be a little bit crazy, and the donkeys and sheeps and wild dogs and birds and cats and the occasional chicken can just step out into the road. They don't really care for self-preservation, so the brakes are good, and I've been playing around on country roads all morning. The pedal is easy to modulate, the response is great, they're super sharp, and after a lot of spirited driving, they don't appear to show any signs of fade. Blinding. The motor, that 2.9 litre turbocharged V6, I know there was a lot of fuss when the previous generation RS4 came out that Audi had ditched the V8. Two things on that. The first RS4 was a 2.7 litre twin-turbo V6. No one complained then. Everyone thinks it's brilliant. And it doesn't really matter, frankly, because it's so fast. You've got that all-wheel drive traction, you have that just so much torque, and you can keep the power on in the corners. You can keep it pinned because you have that grip. It handles really, really well. If you want to throw it down country lane after country lane, you can, with the kids in the back and a dog if you don't like your dog and really like the smell of dog sick. But if you want to use it just as a cruiser, you can drive up and down a motorway, it's quiet, it's comfortable, and when you want to overtake something, indicate out, and you just need to lean on the throttle just a teeny tiny bit, and you just get that big wave of torque and you just blow past everything. It's a staggering machine. I absolutely love it.
Its RS modes add a layer of extra personalisability, which is cool, and the only thing about the new motor that truly irked was the new infotainment screen. It functions just fine, but it seems a bit stuck on. Did the RS4 really need this update right now? Bar the extra economy, probably not. It's still fast, it still handles well. No, it won't excite the M crowd for obvious reasons. It's a good car.